Hi, Mystery Recapped. Today I'll be explaining a chilling supernatural thriller called Ghost. Spoilers ahead, watch carefully. A young woman is suddenly haunted by the ghost of her boyfriend, who was brutally shot to death. He warns her that the same killers will soon come for her, but if they work together, she can take revenge and make sure the culprits are finally brought to justice. The story rewinds a few weeks earlier where we meet our couple, Sam Wheat, a hotshot Wall Street banker, and Molly Jensen, a talented potter with dreams of her own. The two have just moved into a new apartment in bustling New York City, still unpacking boxes and arranging furniture. Their love is young, fiery, and filled with plans for the future. Yet, despite his success in both career and romance, Sam confesses something troubling. Every time life feels good, he's plagued by an anxious fear of losing it all. Molly comforts him, whispering that she loves him deeply. But Sam, instead of returning the words, simply mutters his usual reply, "Ditto." At work, Sam stumbles across something suspicious: huge amounts of money suddenly flowing into shady accounts. Alarm bells go off in his head. Convinced something illegal is going on, he immediately changes the account passcode, ensuring no money can move without his approval. Nervous, he shares this secret only with his trusted friend and colleague, Carl Bruner. That night, Sam and Molly stroll home after watching a play of Macbeth. They chat about their dreams and plans, but Molly can't help but complain that Sam never actually says, "I love you." Every time she opens her heart, all he ever gives back is, "Ditto." Sam starts to respond when their entire world is shattered. From the shadows of an alley, a man steps forward. His name is Willie Lopez, and he's armed with a gun. He points it at Sam and demands his wallet. Sam is about to comply, but then everything spirals out of control. Molly steps in, trying desperately to defuse the situation. Willie reacts violently, slapping her across the face. Enraged, Sam lunges at him, and a vicious struggle explodes in the middle of the dark street. Molly screams for help as fists fly and tension mounts. Then a single gunshot rips through the night. Willie bolts, sprinting into the darkness, while Sam chases him a short distance. At first, it looks like Sam has gained the upper hand. But when he turns back, the horror unfolds. Molly is kneeling over a lifeless body. His own! Sam stares in shock as the reality hits. He's been killed. Panicked, he reaches for his face, his chest, but his hands pass right through. Even strangers walking nearby drift straight through him like he's nothing but air. Suddenly, a blinding stream of white light beams down from the heavens. It's a pathway angels calling him upward. But Sam refuses. He can't leave Molly, not yet. Terrified and desperate, he rushes back to her side, where she clings to his body, sobbing, unaware that the man she loves has already crossed to the other side. Soon after, Sam's lifeless body is rushed to the hospital by ambulance. Doctors officially declare him dead while his ghost watches in shock, still unable to accept what's happening. Staring at his own corpse lying on a stretcher, Sam sits down, rattled and silent. Just then, an old man appears beside him, another ghost, one who has been stuck wandering the hospital for years. He asks what happened, but Sam can barely speak. Seeing his confusion, the old ghost gently tells him that things will soon start to make sense. Together, they watch doctors frantically trying to save a cardiac patient. Moments later, a brilliant white light descends, and the patient's soul rises, drifting peacefully into the glow. For Sam, the truth hits hard. He really is dead. He has become a ghost. With no choice but to accept his fate, Sam returns to the apartment he once shared with Molly. Days turn into nights, and he watches in sorrow as grief consumes her. She talks to herself, struggles to work, and breaks down in tears. Sam aches to comfort her, but nothing he does reaches her except for one strange discovery: their pet cat can sense him. A few days later, Carl visits Molly to help her sort through Sam's belongings. She gathers his personal items, including his small address book, and places them inside a shoebox. Carl, ever the charming friend, urges her to get out of the apartment for her own well-being. He even suggests they go for a walk together, and though hesitant, Molly agrees. As they leave, she locks the door behind her, unintentionally trapping Sam inside. Curious, Sam decides to test whether he can pass through walls. Slowly, he presses his hand into the wooden door, and it begins to sink through. Just as he's about to step fully inside, his attempt is cut short by a nightmare. Willie Lopez barges into the apartment. The thug scans the rooms, clearly hunting for something. Furious, Sam swings his fists, but as always, they pass straight through. Powerless, he watches Willie ransack the place. Things take a darker turn when Molly unexpectedly returns home. Willie, gun in hand, hides and lurks as she enters, completely unaware of the danger. Sam tries to scream warnings, but she cannot hear him. Upstairs, Molly begins undressing while Willie leers from the shadows, savoring the moment like a predator. Sam, desperate to protect her, spots their cat prowling nearby. Remembering that the animal can sense him, he lunges toward it, startling the poor creature. The cat springs at Willie, clawing his face. Willie curses in pain and bolts out of the apartment before Molly realizes what almost happened. Relieved but shaken, Sam knows he can't stop here. He bursts through the door and chases after the thug into the night. The pursuit leads him down into the subway, where Willie boards a train. Sam follows close behind, but danger finds him instead. A towering, menacing figure suddenly rises from a seat. Without warning, the man shoves Sam violently, his ghostly hands gripping his neck and ramming his head through the side of the moving train. Sam is thrown like a rag doll across the carriage. This terrifying stranger is no ordinary passenger, he's another ghost, and he snarls that the subway belongs to him. No other spirits are allowed here. The confrontation is brutal, but thankfully, Willie gets off at the next stop. The deranged ghost loses interest, leaving Sam free to continue the chase. He follows Willie through the gritty streets of Brooklyn until he reaches a shabby apartment building. On the door, Sam sees the name, Willie Lopez. With grim determination, he slips inside to discover the criminal's hideout. Not long after, Willie gets a phone call that shakes everything. Sam listens closely, and the truth freezes him. His death wasn't random at all. Someone paid Willie to kill him. Even worse, Sam realizes the thug plans to return to the apartment because he wants Sam's wallet. His stomach turns when he sees Willie staring creepily at Molly's driver's license. Sam screams warnings, but of course no one hears. Helpless and furious, he storms out into the city, searching for answers. That's when he stumbles upon a strange little storefront, Oda Mae Brown Spiritual Advisor. Sam enters and watches as Oda Mae, a flamboyant con artist, pretends to channel the spirit of a grieving woman's husband. Rolling his eyes, Sam mocks her out loud. To his shock, Oda Mae actually hears him. At first, she dismisses it as her imagination, but Sam won't stop. He keeps repeating his name louder and louder until Oda Mae screams in terror, "Sam Wheat!" The scene jumps forward. Oda Mae has reluctantly accepted the impossible. She can really hear him. Sam explains his murder and begs her to help Molly before it's too late. Oda Mae refuses, insisting Molly won't believe a word. But Sam proves relentless. He tortures her with an annoying song on repeat until she finally gives in. The very next day, Oda Mae nervously shows up at Molly's apartment. She blurts out warnings about danger, but Molly slams the door, convinced it's a scam. Desperate, Oda Mae reveals private details about Molly that only Sam could have known. Slowly, Molly's defenses crack and she listens. Oda Mae spills everything Sam told her, urging Molly to report a dangerous man named Willie Lopez. That evening, Molly confides in Carl, but Carl, ever calm and calculating, waves it off. He suggests Oda Mae is nothing but a fraud, exploiting her grief, and volunteers to look into it himself. Molly agrees, unaware she has just invited the real snake into her life. Carl heads to Brooklyn, and Sam trails him closely. At Willie's apartment, the shocking truth comes crashing down. Sam realizes Carl is behind it all. He's been laundering dirty money through the bank, and Sam's discovery put him in the way. So Carl hired Willie to eliminate him and steal the security codes. Betrayed, Sam howls with rage, cursing his so-called friend, but Carl can't hear him. Meanwhile, Molly turns to the police. But instead of helping, they humiliate her. They dismiss Willie as a clean man and warn that Oda Mae has a record as a conwoman. Broken, Molly feels more alone than ever. Desperate, Sam goes back to the subway tunnels. He seeks out the terrifying ghost he met earlier, the one who could move objects. Sam begs him to teach him how to fight back. The subway ghost snarls, but finally shows him the trick: focus, pure rage, and willpower. Fueled by the terror of Molly and danger and the sting of Carl's betrayal, Sam concentrates until he finally kicks a soda can flying. For the first time, he can touch the real world. With his new strength, Sam returns to Otome with a plan. He convinces her to stop Carl's money scheme once and for all. Disguised and determined, Otome walks into the bank and pretends to be the owner of Carl's fake account. Moments later, she strolls out with a cashier's check worth $4 million. Stunned, she reluctantly hands every penny to a charity shelter. Back at his office, Carl discovers the account has been closed. His offshore deal collapses. Panic sets in. His perfect scheme has turned to dust. That night, Sam launches his boldest move yet. In the dead silence of Carl's office, the computer suddenly begins typing on its own. Murderer. Sam. Carl's blood runs cold. He's convinced Sam's ghost is haunting him. Terrified, he flees straight to Molly's apartment, desperate for answers. Pretending to be concerned, he asks for a headache tablet. While Molly goes upstairs, Carl hisses into the empty room, threatening Sam, unless the stolen money is returned tonight, he'll kill Molly himself. Carl then races off with Willie, heading straight to Otome's apartment, but Sam gets there first. He frantically warns Otome and her sisters, who flee to safety in a neighbor's flat. As Carl and Willie tear the place apart, Sam unleashes his fury, slamming doors, hurling objects and separating the thugs with ghostly force. Willie panics, horrified by the invisible attacks. Screaming, he bolts from the apartment and into the street, only for Sam to chase him down. The pursuit ends at a busy intersection where Willie is crushed between two cars. His corpse lies twisted on the pavement, and then his ghost rises, dazed and terrified. Suddenly, shadows stir and dark, howling spirits slither out of the alleys. Before Willie can react, the creatures swarm and drag him shrieking into the abyss of hell. Shaken but determined, Sam returns with Otome to warn Molly. But Molly, still devastated and skeptical, refuses to let them in. Heartbroken, Sam hatches one last plan. He asks Otome to slip a penny under the door. Concentrating with all his willpower, Sam lifts it into the air right in front of Molly's eyes. Stunned, she gasps in disbelief, finally realizing Sam's spirit is real. She bursts into tears as she opens the door, embracing Otome and whispering Sam's name. Inside, they call the police and wait nervously. To comfort Molly, Otome agrees to let Sam possess her body. For a few tender moments, Sam holds Molly again, and the two share one final, heartbreaking dance. But the peace is shattered when Carl storms in, gun in hand, ready to kill them both. Otome and Molly scramble, while Sam, drained from possession, struggles to recover. Carl corners the women in a storage room, grabbing Otome and snarling threats. Molly bravely strikes back, giving Otome a chance to escape. Enraged, Carl seizes Molly, holding her at gunpoint, demanding the money. Just then, Sam regains his strength. He disarms Carl and attacks furiously, throwing him across the room. Desperate to survive, Carl makes a break for the window. He hurls a scaffolding hook at Sam, but it ricochets, shattering the glass above. In a cruel twist of fate, a giant shard slides down and fatally impales Carl before he can escape. His lifeless body slumps to the ground. Seconds later, his ghost rises, stunned to see Sam standing solemnly before him. Before Carl can plead or fight, the shadows erupt once more. The same dark spirits crawl from the darkness, their chilling howls echoing through the air, and drag Carl screaming into hell. Silence falls. Sam turns back to the women, asking softly if they're safe. To his shock, Molly looks straight at him and answers. She can finally hear his voice. A brilliant, heavenly light floods the room, and Sam's ghost becomes fully visible. Behind him, a portal of radiant souls opens, angels waiting to guide him home. His mission is complete. Sam smiles one last time, kisses Molly tenderly, and whispers goodbye. With peace at last, he walks into the light. Leaving Molly in tears, but forever touched by the love that even death couldn't break.